Hi, I'm Jasmine Ontiveros from St. Louis Park Public Schools Enrollment Center. I'm going to walk you through the registration packet and address some frequently asked questions. Even though school doesn't start until September, it's important that you register your child for kindergarten as soon as you can because the district uses the summer months for planning classrooms, student placement, and hiring staff. The kindergarten registration packet was mailed out to families back in February, to families that we had in our database. If you are a St. Louis Park resident and you did not receive a packet, you can always reach out to the Enrollment Center and request one from me at the enrollment email enrollment@slpschools.org, or leave a voicemail at 952-928-6023. So this is the packet that you would have received in the mail with your student's name down here. I don't have a label on this one. And these current ones had a sheet explaining that we are closed and where you could drop off your packet. The second sheet was a welcome letter to your school. This is a sample for Aquila. The forms that you needed to physically fill out are starting with a checklist explaining the documents that you need. And on the back side of that is the early childhood screening form. The second one is the student registration form, where you would put all your demographic details and any siblings. On the back side of that is the ethnicity and home and language form, and it has a section for any prior schools. For kindergarten, you probably won't have any. The fifth form is the parent-guardian contact information. It also has a piece for student health information. On the back side of that is the student health history form. Next, we had a little map explaining where the district office was. And then in the packet, you would have gotten a quick facts about your school. Again, this is Aquila. And behind that, you'd have the flyer for the multicultural liaisons. Then we had a flyer for Central Clinic. And the last piece was the Kindergarten Guide magazine. And there's a lot of details on there, including a map and all the phone numbers for the schools on the back. The first steps to filling out your packet is walking through some of the documents that you'll need. And here in the kindergarten registration requirement checklist, you'll see you need your early childhood screening. If you got it done at St. Louis Park, you don't need to have a copy. There is a backside that you can fill out. We're just mentioned here that you had it done at St. Louis Park. Write down a date if you remember it and the student's information. If we scroll back up to the top here, this is the other side of that sheet, back to the checklist, you'll see the section for the immunizations down here. If you have not gotten your 5-year-old immunization update for your child, that's okay. You can just send whatever you have. You can always send an update later when you have it available. As long as we have something before September, that works. The third document that we're going to need is a copy of the birth certificate. It doesn't have to be the physical one. A copy works fine. And if you do not have a birth certificate, we also accept green cards, I-94s, military ID, or a tribal ID. If you need to request a copy of your birth certificate, you can always contact the State Department of Virtual Records. There is a link down here. The last document that you are going to need is listed here at the bottom of the checklist, and that is a proof of address or residency, and it could be in the form of a utility bill or a lease agreement, something with your name, the address, and a recent date on it. Now that you have all your documents ready, we can move out to the part where you actually will fill in all your information. And the first form is the student registration form. And this box here at the top, that is for school use. You don't need to worry about that. This section here is where you put the student's legal name, the student's preferred name. If your child's name is Matthew but prefers to go by Matt, you could put that there. The birthday, a home phone or your primary phone, the phone you'd like to be reached at. And here in the grade, if it's for kindergarten, you could just put in a K. Following the grade, this is where you're going to put your student's gender. We have a section for preferred gender with 3 choices. And then here we have the parent contact information. So parent or guardian, parent 1, parent 2. And down here is a section for siblings. It's okay if they're attending another school. We just need to know name, birthday, and grade. And don't forget your parent's signature to write down here. On the back side of the, let me get my sheets in order here on my desk. On the back side of the student registration form, we have the ethnicity, home language, and prior school attendance form. Here we start again with the student name, and then here are your choices for the ethnicity and race. Down below the ethnicity and race portion, you're going to find the language survey with new questions added here with more detail. And here you can indicate other languages that your child speaks or understands following how the questions are written. Here is a section asking if you need an interpreter, if your child was born out of the United States, if your child attended any other school before, what grades. And then this is an important question asking if your child is receiving any special education, such as an IEP. Just write in here what for. At the bottom of the page is this question down here. If student is receiving special education, please list services. This means if your child has an IEP, and you can list what services. The next page is the parent, guardian, contact, and student health information sheet. And that's a pretty basic one. Here we have the student name again, and then the parent and guardian contacts here, and then down here, additional emergency contacts, such as grandma or the neighbor if you'd like. And down at the bottom there is the student's physician or clinic of your preference and the phone number. And then again, don't forget a signature here. On the back of this page is going to be the student health history form. And this has a lot of questions here that answer yes or no. And if you answer yes, please explain. And if the child is taking any medications. And down here again, it's asking for a healthcare provider or a medical clinic, the name and a phone number, and then don't forget a signature and date. Now that I walked you through the forms, let's go over some of the frequently asked questions. One of the questions here I have is, does enrollment accept PDF versions of the documents via email? Yes, we do. We accept clear cell phone photos of your documents and scan PDFs, or you can also fax them in if you'd like. And the email is enrollment@slpschools.org, and the fax number is 952-928-6020. Another question you may have is about your documents. If they are in a different language, we are going to need a translated document. And if you need help finding a way to connect with someone who can translate, you could always reach out to our language liaisons, and that was included in the flyer in your packet. Another question you may have is, what is a valid proof of residence? As I mentioned before, we do accept a utility bill or a lease or rental agreement, something with the legal guardian's name on it, your address, and a current date. We do not accept photo IDs. The last question you probably will have is the most important one. Where do I drop off my kindergarten registration packet? And you can bring it to the district office. We've installed a drop box. The drop box is located next to the district office door, which is actually at the back of the building next to the parking lot at 6311 Wayzata Boulevard, St. Louis Park, Minnesota, 55416. And if you have any questions or need to request a packet, you can reach me via email or phone number. And the email for the enrollment center is enrollment@slpschools.org. My phone number is 952-928-6023. The fax number is 952-928-6020. Thank you.